What's going on, guys?
What's going on?
Welcome to an Higborn Elf review of the upcoming fucking army book, man.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
Shit, get hyped, get pumped up.
Get pumped up.
2.0, motherfucker.
It's going down.
Yeah, so as you can hear, we are super excited to do a new review of our army book. So this is gonna be basically some disclaimers first. This is just a review, our own personal opinion. We are by no means ETC players who can see through the matrix.
And see all the possibilities. No, we're not.
So we might have missed something or overhyped something that sucks, but that's just in our meta. Maybe it's good in our meta, man.
Yeah, exactly.
Also, we're gonna go over the whole book, special rules, entries, everything, but we won't have the exact point value included, just because the books aren't completely finished. I think this book is mostly finished, but the balance team are gonna go in and double check every point cost when all the books are finished. So they are subject to change. Therefore, just so we made sure we are not like spoiling too much. And
Correct.
yes, because if we included point values, we might not have been approved to release this video. So we're just not gonna include them.
Yeah, and as you said earlier, it's a review, not a sneak peek. So
Yeah. So, but we are gonna say like if the points are around the same or if they have gone up or down.
exactly.
So let's get into it. We're gonna going in the same order as the book is written. So it's gonna be army special rules, honors, equipment, unit entries, and so on. David is gonna assist me and have the old book ready, just because we don't know these by head, so we're not missing any changes. So first up, martial discipline, moonlight arrows, and dragon forge armor didn't change at all, so they are here to stay. And let's go into some changes. Valiant, that's the rule that the Lion Guard had. The model is immune to the effects of fear. If more than half of a unit's models have Valiant, the unit automatically passes panic test caused by terror.
That's pretty huge.
Do you notice what's missing?
I do, only because this is take 3.
So basically no stubborn. It's a pretty big change, but to be fair, like I play Lion Guards a lot, and sure it's a nerf, but I don't see this affecting me a whole lot. Also, Lion Guard and the Lion Shirt was like so popular, so I'm guessing they brought them down a bit to see a more varied meta.
Yeah.
And Lion's Fur, big change here. If on foot, the wearer gains innate defense 1, which is improved to innate defense 2 against shooting attacks. Lion's Fur can't be taken by a model with dragon forge armor. Can you see the change there?
Yes.
What's the change?
If on foot.
If on foot.
Very big if. So no more sheriff.
Lion Shirt fucked in the ass.
Finally.
To be fair, if you have seen my videos, you know I love the Lion Chariot. I play it a lot, probably too much, and I have no problem with this. Something needed to be done to take this down a bit. I'm perfectly fine with that, as long as something like our option that isn't being played are getting a little bit boosted. So our overall power
level remains the same, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what I'm hoping for, and not surprised at all by this, and I think it's fair. Fey Miasma.
Alright.
You can't see the whole text, but we are gonna go through it. It's basically. Oh, also remember, all the names are whip, which means whip. We in progress, but what's the W stands for?
May change, basically.
Fuck, I want to know. Whip stands for... I don't remember, but the names may still change. I hope so, because Fey Miasma sounds... I was gonna say something inappropriate, but I won't. Okay, but basically this is the new arrows that the Grey Watchers have. And what it says is, if a unit is hit with a Fey Miasma attack, it must take a resilience test for each hit. And if it's failed, they suffer 1 minus to hit, both for shooting and close combat, for 1 turn. So you can use it like just to make some war machine less threatening to you. Also, while you hopefully do a couple of wounds, or you can like shoot it at a combat block that's about to charge you, just to give them like a debuff. You can also charge in with the Grey Watchers and give this in close combat.
Yeah,
like charging a flank or something.
Yeah, I was thinking about that. Like charging in a small unit on a flank, just to help out the big unit. Yeah.
So this is really interesting. Basically,
a good rule.
What they did with the Grey Watchers was, before they had poison, and they were pretty popular. They competed in points with bolt throwers.
Yeah.
But like a couple, not the latest edition, but before that, they were good war machines hunters. But when all the war machines' toughness dropped from 7 to 4, and they boosted the wounds of all the war machines.
Yeah, they lost their niche, right?
Yeah, basically that change meant that magic missiles and repeated bolt throwers were better at taking wounds at war machines than Grey Watchers, so nobody took them. So this is like a redesign to give them another role, which is really interesting. Complements like if you try to run a monster mash or dragon list and you're afraid of cannons, some Grey Watchers are good to bring with you.
Sure does.
Alright, let's go on. Oh, this is a big one.
Biggest one.
Big one. No, it's basically, I like it, but you remember our previous Master of Balance, it was called? High elf are supposed to be really good at magic, and our rule to symbolize that was you gain +1 to channel in opponent's magic phase.
Right.
This one got reworked, and a lot better, in my opinion, to Master of Spellcrafting. Spells cast by the wizard have their casting value reduced by 1.
Yeah, that's pretty major with new magic system.
Yeah, so to me, I say it's simple, it's elegant, and it's good.
I agree.
Nothing complex about it, but surely it shows that we are just a little bit better than everybody else.
Yes, it's
as it should be. The hereditary spell. The text was so it was a lot, so I'm just gonna talk over it.
Sure.
Do you know the hereditary spell?
Not really, so please do explain.
So basically, how hereditary spells works is a wizard can exchange one of its spells for the hereditary spell. This one is 8+ to cast, and what it does, it gives you 2 veil tokens, and until the next magic phase, whenever a unit suffers a wound, so it can be in movement from DTs, it can be in shooting, it can be in close combat. We go over to the opponent's turn, they can be in their magic, shooting, close combat turn. You can choose to spend a veil token and disregard that wound. And for all the details, it's maximum 2 veil tokens per phase you can spend. This will also require you to have stored veil tokens to be able to use them. But just casting the spell will give you 2. But if you're gonna use like more than 2, you need to have some store.
Alright.
If it's used on infantry, 1 veil token saves 2 wounds.
Alright.
If it's anything other than infantry, 1 veil token saves 1 wound. And characters and gigantic models can maximum save 1 wound from this spell per phase.
Per phase?
Per phase.
Alright, so 1 per shooting phase, close combat phase, and so on. So
Yeah.
forth.
Or for example, let's say I'm in combat with you.
Mm-hmm.
I cast this spell. You do a wound on my characters and some on the unit. I might use 1 veil token on the character, 1 on the unit.
Alright.
Then we go over to your combat phase, and I can do it again if I have tokens,
Alright.
because that's a different phase.
Alright, so 1 veil token basically is 1 wound. Except
Yeah.
an infantry.
Precisely.
Alright.
Uh,
That's very good.
I think this spell is really good, and I like it. Like, it's
But as I see now, worth noting, an 8+ to cast. That's not. That's pretty high.
pretty high. But if it's a wizard master, you get +1, and our master of spellcrafting will reduce this value by 1.
All right. So you
So,
said.
so it's basically a 6.
All right. Yeah. A 6. All right. 2 dices at least. Yeah.
3 to be sure,
Three
I
to
would
be-
say.
Yeah, if you really need it.
2, you can be unlucky. I would roll 3 on this. But then you're always going to get it through. And the opponent needs to roll 3 or 4. Alright, let's go on. Oh, so this is all the army special rules and armory, so we're going into honors.
Yep.
So the new Master of Kendrick Tower. He's still a combat swordmaster mage, but with a lot of changes. So protein magic means you know the number 1 spells from the paths you have access to. He only knows 3 spells. So he has access to alchemy, cosmology, druidism, shamanism, and witchcraft. So he will be able to choose the number 1 spell from 3 of these paths. And he always knows the Oaken Throne in addition. Also, his attribute is always Fountain of Youth from druidism. So if I cast alchemy spell, I don't get the Flamebolt attribute.
All right.
I will recover them. Yeah, that's basically it. And the High Prince gain all 5 spells instead of 3. It's a Wizard Adept, so it still has channels 1, but no +1 to cast. And I like it. I think it's cool.
Yeah. Master of
Depending,
Spellcrafting is Sworn Sword. Are they?
Master of Spellcrafting is the -1. All
yeah, sorry.
casting value are reduced by 1.
Christ.
And Swords 1 is the Swordmaster rule. So if I have a great weapon, I still have +1 to hit.
All right. Nice.
And basically, I think it's really cool. I see when it dropped on the forum, I saw a lot of positive feedback on this. Personally, I wouldn't run this as my main mage. I love it as a support mage if I have to, because like looking at the number 1 spells from these paths, I don't think they offer enough for my playstyle to be my. I want a little more oomph. But I'm gonna have to pay. You can have this as your main mage and go cheap. You have your BSB, your main mage, and everything, and save some points. Yeah, but I like it as a secondary mage.
All right. That's support mage.
And if you want to make it a little better, you can make sure, like if you have models that you can put wounds back on, this is gonna be he's gonna get more bang for his bucks.
All right. Nice.
Oh, you can't see the top here. This is the new. It's called the Queen's Cavalier or something like
Yeah,
that. It's the new Rhyme honor, basically.
All right.
So what it does, let's read through it. It's for a High Prince. The bearer gains devastating charge, +1 attack, fear. So how the new devastating charge works is, devastating charge is just like a
name for a buff you get when you charge this.
yeah, like you can have devastating charge, and it can give you a lot of different things.
Mm-hmm.
Also, if you have several instances of devastating charge, you can add them together.
Mm-hmm.
So this instance of devastating charge only gives you +1 attack and fear. If the bearer's model is large or gigantic, the limit of ancient allies is increased to 25, characters is increased to 50%, and all characters in the army must be large cavalry or gigantic beast.
Large cavalry.
That's basically Monsters Cav.
Oh, nice.
So this dragons becomes 0 to 2 mounts per army. You can't have Sea God Reapers or Sky Sloops, and you can take this on a horse, young dragon, or dragon. So basically, you can take you can't see it in the text, but you can take this honor 3 times. So basically, what it means is either you can take it on a prince on a horse to get the +1 attack, and if you do that, you don't increase your ancient allies or characters limit, but you still can't take Sea God Reapers or Sky Sloops, but you can run 3 princes with the same charge. If you take the model on a griffin or a young dragon or something like that, then you increase your cap, and all your characters must be mounted on something big.
All right.
Do you understand? You with me? You with me?
feeling you.
So it's interesting. We'll see how it plays out. I think it's
Meant to be a monster match.
yeah, it's meant for the monster mash. Looks like you will be able to fit 2 dragons in an army if you want to. Probably, I wonder if you can fit like 2 young dragons and a fire mage on a dragon with fire mage armor or something like that.
Dragons become 0 to 2 mounts, so no.
But not young dragons.
Oh, that's true.
So young
Yeah,
dragons.
that's a lot of that. I don't know if it would be viable in a tournament setting, but
Mhm.
sure would look cool though.
Basically, I'm not gonna spend too much time on this because I'm not experienced in the Monster Mash playstyle. I haven't really played it, so I can't really evaluate this. I think. So let's
Looks
go
cool
on.
though.
Yeah, it looks cool. Fleet officers. They basically get the Sea Guard special rule and a lot of text. Let's just go. Like steady aim and cover volley. Cover
Yeah.
volley?
Yeah, cover volley.
It's supposed to be called cover fire. Alright. It basically means steady aim is you can shoot in 3 ranks, and cover fire is like it's like if a unit within 18 gets charged, you can stand and shoot as long as the unit that's being charged is more like, let's say you have a unit.
Alright.
Your base movement on your unit
Yeah.
is 5.
Alright.
If my unit is at least 5 inches away, like your base movement away from you,
Yeah.
then I can use cover fire if I am within 12 of my unit. Something
Alright,
like
so
that.
it works exactly like the restrictions on a standing shoot are exactly like that. You have to be outside of the model's advance rate or the ordinary
Yes.
movement rate. The only difference is you can stand and shoot even if you're not the one getting the charge, or rather, the unit with this special rule can stand and shoot for another unit, basically.
For this to work, the unit that's being charged needs to have martial discipline.
Which-
That's in there just so you can't abuse it with like eagles and stuff, I think.
Alright, smart.
And okay, now we're going into the Sea Guards rules, but this is like the fleet officer honor is still if you're charged, if you're stubborn, you may lose it. If you want to perform a combat reform, the combat reform is that was in the old book as well. You can take an eagle or a sky sloop. You can ambush. So basically, everything is the same, but it just gained the new Sea God rules. So we'll move on. These are the honors that didn't change a lot, so we'll go over them really quick. High Warden of the Flame is basically the same. Oh, should we mention something in points here? Oh, we forgot to erase points from this one. But basically, this one, can you take it
Yeah, sure.
in the old book so I can compare points?
Sure thing.
So the Rima honor
Up there.
went down a little bit in points.
Alright.
Let's see, Master of Kendrick Tower is around the same. And Fleet Officer, you saw the points, but they are exactly the same. So for these new ones, let me just borrow this really quick. So High Warden of the Flame went down a little bit in points. It does the same thing. It cannot mount a Phoenix anymore. We'll go more into that later when we come to Phoenixes. So it's on foot only, so it's for a foot combat character. Magic Rest has also changed, so it doesn't boost the ward save against spells. It's like a spell targeting a unit with Magic Rest gains -1 modifier to its casting result. So it's harder to cast spells on them. And
Worth noting, I saw it. Aegis is a new name for ward save,
yeah,
so they don't
Precisely.
confuse it
precisely.
with something else.
That's it. It went down a little bit in points also. Royal Huntsman. I don't remember the new point value, but basically he becomes a Lion Guard. It's exactly the same, no changes, but there are changes to Lion Fur, which we already went through. And changes to Valiant too. So this one indirectly got nerfed, but I don't think the price. Yeah, the price went down a little bit. And the Queen's Companion special honor. Basically, the points are around the same, and it does the same thing. It gives quick to fire. You can shoot with Fey Miasma, but then you can only join a Grey Watcher unit. So you can't, for example, take a Queen's Companion, put them in a combat unit, stand and shoot with Fey Miasma when someone charges them, and get -1 to hit or something like that.
Yeah, that's pretty major.
So I understand they put that one in. Asphalt Scholar, precisely the same. This one was really good before, it's still really good, but went up a little bit in points accordingly. Some changes to bounce spells affect, like Drain Magic is still there, but the way you cast bounce spells have changed a little bit. You don't have to go into that, I think.
No.
So let's go on. The last honor, Order of the Fiery Heart. It's the old Pyro Dragon Mage, which no one took before. They tried to make more viable. So basically, the bearer's model gain flaming attacks. You can choose spells. You have access to alchemy and pyromancy. So before it was only pyromancy.
Mm-hmm.
You can still cast all the pyromancy spells into combat. In alchemy, you can only cast Molten Copper. Worth noting, Molten Copper has gotten boosted from strength 2 to strength 3.
Alright, that's pretty nice.
And yeah, so in combat you can cast spells into the same combat. Also, what they did is, if you cast a spell, let's say you mount this guy can go on a young dragon or a dragon. And if you get a spell through, you get +1 advance rate, +2 march rate, and +2 attack value. So basically your spells will boost your combat capabilities. And yeah, you also have access to armor and paired weapons, which also means magical armor, armor enchantments and paired weapons enchantments. So basically,
nice.
what this adds up to, if you take alchemy, whenever you cast a spell, you will proc the attribute, which will make the opponent flammable. So all of your dragon's attack will get rerolls to wound.
Oh, nice.
You will get 2+ attacks. You can take like a hero sword on your mage, giving 3 strength 5 attacks, which also get rerolls to wound. Your breath weapon gets rerolls to wound. The way I see it, alchemy mage on this is really like, if I were to take this to do combat, I would take him as alchemy. If I take pyromancy, would be more like if my list needs pyromancy, it still works on him.
Is the item still left in the big rulebook where you can choose which spell path you want to take before the combat?
Yes, it's in there.
That's pretty nice.
It's nice, but if you take him on a dragon, if you take him on a young dragon, you're gonna want to spend your allowance on defense.
Yeah, of course, but with the big dragon.
Yeah, with the big dragon you can take. Also, I think, if I remember correctly, you don't have. Here it says you have to take him on a mount, but I don't think you have to. I think you can take him on foot if you want to. Yeah, may only take one of the following mounts, but it doesn't have to be taken. So you can take him on a foot, armor him up, have him in a combat unit, and cast spells also, if you want to. But then you're not. They're trying to incentivize you to take him on a mount because your spell boosts the mounts.
Yeah, exactly.
Pretty
good.
Pretty good. Let's go into items. Some of these have been spoiled. Some of these hasn't. This is also the first time you're seeing some.
Yeah.
So let's start off the Nova Flare. I was really excited for this one because, like, before it was released in the forums as in a sneak peek.
All right.
They people who had seen it teased a lot. There was just because there are a lot of people raging on high elves because they think they're so good, and high elf people rage because they think they're bad, and they're everybody's raging, and they're some things started with collecting tears, the tears of the other armies fuel our magic phase. That's why it's so good. And people starting collecting. As soon as somebody raged, they were oh, I took his tears, and it went all overboard. And they called this the Lance of 1,000 Tears. So naturally, I was my expectations for this, I think, was a little bit too high, because when I heard the name Lance of 1,000 Tears, I was okay, strength 10, multiple boost, D3, plus 2 attacks, lethal strike. It's not that crazy, okay? But it's good. So it's a lance. You probably want to take him on a prince. It gives divine attacks, magical attacks, lethal strikes, and devastating charge plus 1.
One attack.
Yeah, plus 1 attack, yeah. And it has a 1 use only that can be activated at the start of any run of combat. The wielder counts as charging for the purpose of devastating charge. So I don't think you will get the lance bonus, but you will get the plus 1 attack.
Alright.
So this, it doesn't look bad, but for me, I think, it's it was quite expensive. So don't expect a cheap price tag. Basically, the way I think this one went was, this one comes down to price, if it will be good or not.
Alright.
And I think if it was too cheap, you could combine it with too much other stuff to make it too good. So they had to put a little bit higher price tag on it to avoid certain builds.
Yeah.
Because this in combination with something else can be really good. And but so when I first saw it, I was a little bit underwhelmed. But when you can add a lot of things to make this as good as you want it, but it's gonna be expensive because devastating charge stacks. So you can stack this with the Prince of Raima honor. You can stack this with War Banner of Raima.
Yeah, that's true.
Which now can be taken 3 times. And yeah, so you can stack this together with other items and stuff to make it a really killable guy.
Alright.
But it's gonna cost you. What do you think?
Now that you mention it, when you can stack it with, because even though I know the rule, but I kind of forgot that you stack every instance of devastating charge you have, you stack them all together. So when the 1 use only,
yeah, that one also gets better because
you can. That one, in my head, I thought it only the 1 use only activated weapon again, 1 plus attack.
Yeah.
that's nothing. But as you said, when you combine it with the Warband of Rima banner and the Rima
Honor.
honor,
So I think it looks like this is made to be stacked. They want to use only part.
probably.
Uh, because like let's say you have him in a knight unit with the standard having Warband of Rima, the BSB having Warband of Rima, and you have the Rima honor. You have 2+ attacks and 2+ strength. First time when you charge, you also have the lance strength.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's gonna be like 6 strength 8 attacks, divine, magical, lethal. But then you have the Rima honor, so you know bolt throwers. Yeah, you're having a B2 war banners. Yeah, it adds up. But you can do stuff with it. The bow of Elu, it's exactly the same. Sliver of the Blazing Dawn. I like this spear. It's a spear.
It's a spear.
So it's armor penetration 1. It's +2 agility if you get charged.
Yep.
It gives you +1 strength, +2 armor penetration, and magical attacks. Like on paper, I don't think.
And
Yeah. On paper, this sentence doesn't look like
a lot.
quite a lot, but it adds up. Also, each successful to hit roll with this weapon costs 2 hits instead of 1. I think it's really good. It's competitively priced. I think you can fit this. You can make a proper build around this item, and basically it's made to make our foot characters viable because no one took foot combat characters in 1.3, and I think it does the job great, actually. Yeah, I don't know what else to say about it.
You don't wanna go into some combinations?
Nah,
No.
they'll find the combinations on their own. But it's good. I like it. I'm gonna try this one. So going into armors, gleaming robe. Worth mentioning about Sliver of the Blazing Dawn. We had a version of this weapon in 1.3, but they decided to change it basically because before it was the way it was you have 1 more strength than the opponent's toughness, and if it's a monster, you get multiple attacks. Your attack doubles. So it basically was an anti-monster thing, but it's the Royal Huntsman is supposed to be the anti-monster guy.
Alright.
So decided to this is not gonna be anti-monster. It's gonna be anti-high armor, anti-rank and file. It's gonna be like a
blender.
a meat grinder.
A meat grinder.
They took the meat grinder from the vermin swarm and they put it on a spear.
How lovely.
I love. Gleaming robe was also in our previous book. Is now 3 plays basically ward save 3+, cannot be improved, and a bit of protection against miscast and against miscast. Can you bring up the old book? I don't remember if this one went up or down.
Sure thing. Let's see.
Okay, so it's around the same. Let's say. It's a little bit different. Protection of Dorak, also an item to make our on foot guys a bit more capable. So it's a heavy armor enchantment. Worth noting, you can have like anything that's a heavy armor enchantment. You can use it with a Dragon Forged armor if you want to. It gains 2 additional armor and 2 additional defensive skill.
That's pretty good.
Doesn't sound like a lot, but it's good. It's good. So this makes it possible for us to have 1 point armor save, 1-up armor on foot guys. But then you have to take there's a shield enchantment that gives an additional armor in the rule book, ordinary big rule book. If you take that, you can get up to 1+ armor. So it's good. I like it. Demon's Bane, that's a new version. Before it was the Demon Hunter's Helm. So before it gave 3+ ward save against magical attacks and +1 armor save. Now it's it's a heavy armor enchantment that gives +1 armor and close combat attacks from the wearer that's allocated towards a model with magical attacks gains rerolls to wound. So I also like it. They made it like an offensive item instead of defensive. But it's basically you put him on a guy that's gonna go hunt like characters and magical. Also, like it still gives you +1 armor, so you can get a good defensive kit.
2 of armor save is nothing to sneeze at.
And you get rerolls to wound from your armor allowance, so you can still put a good weapon on him and combine it with rerolls to wound.
That's true. That's true.
For example, the Lance of 1,000 Tears. Just a teaser.
Yes.
It's also pretty cheap, cheaper than I thought it would be. So, yeah, cheap and good.
Star metal.
Just the way I like my girls. Sorry, man, I had to. No, let's just.
You don't like them that cheap. Sorry, it's a review of Armybook. Goddamn.
Okay. Moving along. Star Metal Alloy. It's a shield enchantment. The first time the bearer's model suffers an unsaved. Can you read this?
Alright, sure. Star Metal Alloy. The first time the bearer's model suffers an unsaved wound from an attack with multiple wounds, the number of wounds suffered is halved, rounding fractions up. So you get what's the name called for the ogre cons big monster thingy?
I don't know, but I know what you mean.
Yeah, basically.
But
same thing.
Yeah, it's. Oh, they have the same thing.
No, the big monster from ogre cons, Rockaroks.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Rockarok special rule.
Yeah. Now I know. So this is meant to be like primarily to help us, like protect us against cannons if you run dragons and stuff. This is not restricted to, like we have another item that's restricted to only griffins and young dragons. This is not. So you can take like Prince on Ancient Dragon if you want to. Just like so basically what they did is the Ancient Dragon, we'll get to him, he's a little bit nerfed, but they gave us a lot of tools to try to make griffins and young dragons more viable, and like so cannons, they toned down cannons for us, so we got some tools to counter like if we are afraid of cannons and stuff.
Yeah, you don't have to hide behind the hill all game until the cannons dead.
Yeah. And since this only procs on multiple wounds attacks, it doesn't matter, like you can't ping it off with, like, you remember the old Lucky Shield?
Yeah.
You pinged it off with some bows and then you hit them with the big shot.
Yeah.
But this, it stays there.
Stays there until the big shot comes.
Yeah.
Nice.
I think it's priced reasonably. Yeah, it's reasonable.
Reasonably priced.
Okay, charms / artifacts. Let's start with Ring of the Pearl Throne, so we can explain why we wrote charms / artifacts. Question mark. So ring. Basically, I read this. I was hyped. Then I read it to David. So David was like, "Oh, so it means this. So you can't do this." And I was like, "Fuck." Now I'm less hyped. Then,
but now you might be hyped again.
We double checked some shit. So now we don't know.
Can someone give us some goddamn answers, man?
We need answers. Okay, so what it does, it says, artifacts carried by enemy models in base contact with the bearer cannot be used for as long as they remain in base contact with the bearer. So this item was in the rulebook before, like not in 1.3 but earlier. It got removed entirely because I think it was like 2 rock paper scissors. It could be
Worthless, but on the other hand, could be really, really good.
yeah. So it like promoted extreme matchups. So basically, I think they didn't know how to balance it, but they brought it back.
Maybe.
Maybe the pricing is carefully considered. Basically, I think it's reason. The price is good, I think,
Alright.
but they suspiciously made it so if you're trying to take the Nova Flare lens together with this, you're 5 points over the cap. So you don't expect to run this together with a Prince with the lance.
Suspicious.
Suspiciously. I see what you did there, Balance Team. I see you sneaking. Trying to stop us from trolling.
From bringing the cheese.
Yes, they're stopping the cheese, man. But okay, the question mark is basically I read this, I was like, oh, he's back, man, put him on a dragon, charge him in, he will kill anything. And then David was like, oh, so it's artifacts carried by the enemy models. Because in the High Elf book right now,
Mm-hmm.
if you look at the equipments, it says weapon enchantments, then we see our weapon enchantments. Then it says armor enchantments, and we see our armor enchantments.
Correct.
Then it says artifacts, and then we see what we're looking at right now. So basically, it's they combined talismans, enchanted items, and arcane items into one category. And it looks like in the Hive book, that category is called artifacts, and the wording on this item, it says artifacts, so it looks like it only inactivates items from this category.
Mm-hmm.
But in the common rule book, at the top of the magical item section, it says like below you can see our common artifacts.
A list of common artifacts.
A list of the common artifacts, and under that it says weapon enchantments, banner enchantments, armor enchantments, and then it says charms.
And not artifacts.
Not artifacts. So in the common rule book, it looks like all magical items are called artifacts, and the new word for talisman, enchanted item, arcane item is just charms.
Mm-hmm.
So going on that wording, the Ring of the Pearl Throne works against every magical item.
Correct.
Going on the Higborn Elf book wording, it only works against charms or artifacts. That's only charms. So you see our confusion here.
So yeah, basically, depending on the wording, this item might be extremely good or meh.
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 So I think the pricing is fair,
Depending.
yeah. Like no, if it's all magical items, yeah, then this might be a little bit too good if I'm honest. Like I don't really know. No, this might be too rock paper scissors like before.
Yeah.
It's like some matchups it would be like
If
holy fuck.
if you go like this, you have made a character with the 2.0 rules, right?
Yes.
That you don't want to spoil. Let's say you face another Higborn Elves army, and this item removes every magical items you have. That specific character, all of a sudden, becomes weak sauce.
Weak sauce.
Yep.
Yeah, so it's rock paper scissors. Like I think it's a cool, fun item, of course, because it's in my book. But like I'm trying to be like objective. I don't know if this item should be. It's a rock paper. Like a lot of changes, other changes they made. They said it's supposed to not promote rock paper scissors matchups.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't really know if this fits in. But it could be that it only affects charms, and then I think it's a little bit underwhelming. But we'll see. It's a big question mark. And also, I never tried this before, like when it existed earlier. So maybe it's not too rock. I don't know.
You don't know.
Let's go on.
Yes, let's go on.
Diadem of Protection.
No, jump. Okay, that one's quick.
Okay, Book of Melodies. It's the exact same as before.
Nice.
It's still good. Actually, it got indirectly a little bit better. It does the same thing, costs the same price, but the Book of Arcane Power and the Spell Scroll, which was the item it competed with before, both the Spell Scroll is removed, Book of Arcane Power is nerfed, so indirectly this one got a little bit better.
Alright, nice.
Diadem of Protection. Basically, 4-up ward save is gone from the rulebook,
The big rulebook, yeah.
and this is one of the ways we can get a 4-up ward save.
Can you get a 4-up? Easily.
This one boosts the ward save by 2.
Yeah, it's a dragon armor.
So you just take a dragon armor, take this, and you have a 4-up ward.
Nice.
It also is fairly priced, a little bit cheaper than I.
Then you tell. Suspicious.
So I like it. It's simple, simple but good. We need to watch the time. All right, we'll try to finish this. We got like we can go for another 25.
Yeah, 25.
25.
Whoa, barely.
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 20 minutes. So
20
we'll try to speed things up. Amethyst crystal. It's now a non-dominant item, which means like charms or artifacts, depending. You can take 2 of them, but only 1 dominant. Amethyst crystal is not dominant, so you can combine it with another arcane item.
Nice.
Or charm or artifact. And basically, what it does now is the spell rolls made by the bearer gain a +1 modifier, which is good, considering how magic works now. You have a wizard master have 0, 0 plus to the spell.
Correct.
Glittering lacquer.
Yeah.
It's another way to improve our griffins and young dragons.
Yeah.
It can only be taken on cavalry, but that includes large cavalry, so monstrous cav, and it gives you hard target. Not very expensive, so makes them a little bit more survivable. I think it's a cool, interesting item.
Yeah, they're really going for that young dragon and griffins fantasy claim.
One interesting thing, I wonder if we will see. I haven't done the math or anything like that, but it would just be funny if we started seeing like some cowboy version of princess on horses, with like a 1-up, 4-up with hard target, running around on like a horse. Just a funny thing. I haven't done.
I think the toughness is the breaking point there.
Yeah, toughness, and also like a veteran with a great weapon can still reach a 1-up and have strength 7.
That's true.
I don't know. It's not a cowboy, but it could be. Banners, man. It's all about the banners.
2.0 might be a banner edition.
Say it, David.
2.0 might be a banner edition.
Mercy. Man, I was pleasantly surprised. I didn't expect. Like, I follow the sneak peeks. I know they teased some stuff. I thought I had a pretty good hang on what was coming. Then I saw the banners.
Banners?
You sure kept these secrets, man? Okay. I
Just to
forgot.
kick it off, Ban of the World Dragon is back.
It's back.
Same effects as before. 2-up war save against everything. Enjoy.
10 points cheaper. Okay, kidding. No worries, no tears. Banner of the World Dragon is not back. But
yeah.
Alright, so Navigator's Banner. 0 to 3 per army. Rank and file models in the bearer unit gain distracting first round of combat against attacks from the front. Good. Very good.
Very good.
I like it.
Reasonably priced.
Reasonably priced.
Good to hear. Yeah, it's a good item. Definitely.
So
worth noting, it's only to the front facing, so works sort of like the old parry.
yeah. Also, like I see this, I think where this came from is defense is supposed to be one of High Elf's army strengths,
Mhm.
but they didn't want to put all of the defense on armor because dwarves and some other armies should be better armored.
Mhm.
So they gave us defense in other aspects. And
Like banners.
like banners. I see this together with Warband of Rima promoting a lot more infantry play. Or maybe not, but these banners will make our infantry a little bit better, more flexible than before,
Definitely.
which is a very welcome sight. This particular banner on White Lions, for example, works perfect. Yeah, no complaints. Worth mentioning, every core unit, archers, spearmen, lancers, got their banner allowance raised to a certain amount that shall not be named, but they can fit these banners or any other banner.
Every
the-
other
Every other banner.
in the big rulebook too.
Or maybe I'll take that back because then you can figure out what their allowance is. I take it back, but they can fit these banners.
At least.
Uh,
That's what you heard before.
Banner of Becalming. In the opponent's magic phase, during siphoning the Veil, before converting Veil tokens into magic dice, remove one Veil token from the opponent's Veil token pool, add one Veil token to your own Veil token pool. It's good, it's not too crazy, but it's good. It also synergizes well with the hereditary spell.
Definitely.
So, yeah, I like it. I like it. War Banner of Rima. 0 to 3 per army. That's changed from before. Also, it now gives a unit Swift Stride. So before it wasn't really that competitive to take on infantry units. You always put the banner on Rima Knights.
Yep.
Because infantry weren't that reliable to get the charge, but now you give Swift Stride. It's almost more valuable to give this banner on infantry because they gain Swift Stride.
Yeah.
Knights already have it. So I love this banner. I think most people might like the Rima Navigator's banner more. I love the War Banner of Rima. Absolutely love it. And
Especially since it's a 0 to 3 choice.
yeah, and both these banners, our spearmen
Mhm.
always had were a little bit underwhelming because they felt like they couldn't really handle anything on their own. If you took a spearman block, almost any other combat block, for me it felt like it couldn't do. I had them like a wizard bunker.
Mm.
Maybe they would score or they would run in someone's flank.
Yeah.
But now with these banners, they have a fighting chance against Saurus, against dwarves, against war. They can do something.
Definitely.
I love it. I love it. Let's go on. Okay, small changes. I'm gonna speed it up a bit, but tell me if I'm missing something. Okay.
Yeah.
Prince and Commander, weapons and mounts. I think across the board got a little bit cheaper.
Yep.
Specifically, you can expect griffins and dragons to be cheaper. Young dragons were a lot cheaper.
Yeah. Quite a hefty sum.
Yeah. Mage also got a little bit cheaper.
Correct.
Ancient Dragon got some changes. So it's not toughness 7, it's toughness 6.
Mm-hmm.
Holy shit, the shitstorm I saw on the forum when they dropped this. Man, I feel sorry for the
tears shed that day.
our magic face got really strong. Man, I applaud the army community. The guys doing this having to take that shitstorm and trying to make sense or answer with some logic or something. Everyone is entitled to their feelings. Sure, it was a nerf. I don't really mind it too much, but if I often played the Ancient Dragon, I would probably be upset. It hasn't gotten hit a lot. It got a huge base, and everybody was like, "Fuck! Now I get to make a huge base." And now, losing in toughness, and like I understand the frustration, but I don't really mind personally.
So, lost the toughness, but
Gained 1 wound and 2 march move, not
Alright.
advance move.
Alright.
Phoenix mount is gone. Spearman got a little bit cheaper. Archers got it's almost not worth saying. They're basically around the same points. I only included Higborn Lancers here because all of them got increased allowance on their banners
To a specific amount.
to a specific amount that shall not be named, like Voldemort. Lion Guard, the only change there was like since they changed Valiant to not include Stubborn.
Yeah.
Lion Guard now have Bodyguard General. So if the General is in Lion Guard,
That's pretty good.
they are stubborn.
Yeah, that's good. Very good.
That's fair. So, like, I don't
That's
even mind.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
fair. They should be stubborn.
No, but like they removed stubborn against all fear,
Exactly.
but
exactly.
gain stubborn if the general is inside. I
So-
think that's a fair trade.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Uh,
So they be stubborn with a mage in them. So that's
If the
good.
mage is the general.
Yeah, exactly. But cause saying
Speak
that the mage
Words, David. Words. Form them with your mouth.
I was thinking of the mage should be general in this specific
Okay.
something.
Okay.
Christ, wait. All right, moving on.
Flame wardens minimum unit size increased to 15,
Yeah,
and they basically the same price.
basically the same price for it.
Sea God Reaper, as with every other update, they were always taken. They went up a little bit in points, were still always taken. Right, went up a little bit in points, and this edition is no exception.
No exception at all.
So you can expect the same. Sky Sloop, they removed the Stone Pennant option. On to the bigger changes. Lord and Sea Guards, there were a lot. Most people seemed like not happy. I was happy. I think they were cool. The new rules are cool.
Yeah, very cool.
But it seemed like most of the like Higborn Elf player base was like, yeah, it's a new fancy rule, but they're still crazy overpriced. If they don't go down way in points, they still suck. That seemed like the general
Opinion about
opinion. I think like should I go over the rule again? Do we know the rule by now? It's been spoiled too. I don't need to go over the rule.
it. No. To
Shit.
mention it quickly, they can basically
Stand
Like
and shoot if a unit within 12 gets charged, they can stand and shoot. They can
exact-
shoot in 3 ranks. Maximum unit size is 30, and they don't get -1 to shoot from stand and shoot. So basically, it's a support spearman archer unit with
like a detachment from
yeah.
Empire.
They redesigned it a little bit so it won't play exactly like a spearman or exactly like an archer, and you should expect price to be around the same. I won't say anything more because you will either see me as a god or you will kill me, and I don't want neither.
You see me as a god.
I don't know what to say, man. I am not the man to break this down to you.
Anyhow, I like the new rules.
Mitsu, Grey Watchers. We mentioned it. They got also like a support role that can like support.
Yeah, very supporting role.
They're like anti-gun line or anti anything. I don't know.
Yeah, they're a supportive range unit.
Queen's Guard. This might seem like a small change, but I consider it as a big change, just because it's like little things that annoy me, that I don't want, that is now gone. Because basically, basically before you could have 20 in the army, maximum unit size was 15. So basically, if you wanted one unit, you wanted it as big as possible, like for buffs and stuff. It had to be 15, so 5 got wasted. Or you could take 2 units, one with 15, one with 5. Or you take 2 of 10. Now you can take 1 of 20. Like a unit can be 20.
And that feels good.
it just feel like the universe is in order.
The stars are aligning.
Yes. River Chariot. A lot of changes. I don't know how much it will. Okay, let's say what you think, because I
Alright.
don't think you've heard it.
No, I didn't
Um,
know that actually.
So River Chariot wasn't picked at all before.
Nope. Can't say I've seen one in play.
They lost Vanguard.
Alright,
They lost a wound, so from 4 wounds to 3.
alright.
We need to check the pricing. Can you?
I'll check the price for you.
But they gained.
So much. Let's see if I can find them. There we are.
I need to find it here too. Alright.
Alright.
Alright. So, what they gained was basically the option to take command, champion, standard, musician, and they gained, like the base movement is 9.
Mm-hmm.
They gain March 14.
Oh.
So they're like their light troops can march 14, and they got. Would you call that difference big, small? What? How
No,
would you
that's pretty big. A chariot which can march 14, so it's definitely the fastest chariot out there.
Yeah. But what? How would you define the point difference?
Oh, the point difference. Reasonably changed.
Reasonably changed
For the better.
for the better, and the changes overall.
Yeah, it's a difference, definitely. It's not a small change. It changed some things. Might see some play.
Might
For- Yeah, pretty good. Someone can do something with him, definitely.
someone can do something?
It won't be you.
Won't be me. No.
Won't be me.
Okay,
Some-
Phoenixes, the last entry. Then we gotta go. So the Phoenixes got a lot. Did you hear anything about the Phoenixes?
No, damn whisper.
Okay, there's a lot. There's a lot. Are you with me, Dave?
I'm with you.
Okay, so the Phoenix and the Frost and Flame Phoenix. Take them, one in your left hand, one in the right hand. Smash them into one. So they got a stat line.
Alright,
That's basically the Flame Phoenix stat line. So 4 attacks, not 5.
alright,
The rest is basically 5s.
alright.
Alright? The Flame Phoenix lost its ward save. No ward save.
Okay,
4-up armor save.
okay.
Kept its flame. Let's see if you can follow this.
Yeah.
Kept its flame swoop thing.
Okay,
Went up a little bit in points.
okay.
Frost Phoenix. Same armor save as the flame.
Alright,
Kept its ward save.
alright,
So 5-up, 4-up. 4-up, 5-up.
alright.
Its debuff was before -1 strength, -3 initiative or
Yeah.
agility. Now it's -1 armor save, -1 armor penetration,
Mm.
-3 agility. So not -1 strength, but -1 armor pen, -1 armor save, and this one works. You can swoop it like a Flame Phoenix and in close combat.
Oh.
Also, the Flame Phoenix got grinding attacks too.
Why?
Also, the Frost Phoenix got rebirth like the Flame Phoenix.
But the flame Phoenix lost me.
No, the Flame Phoenix kept rebirth. Also, they cannot be taken as a mount anymore,
No.
but they got an upgrade, like a champion upgrade almost. But
Right.
it's not a champion, but it's a Flame Warden champion. But it's
Alright, we can upgrade that guy on the Phoenix anyhow.
yes, who fights like a Flame Warden champion, but it's not a Flame Warden champion.
Alright.
But that
So
upgrade,
2 attacks.
I need to
What have they done to the birds? Gee, it's like a book. Alright.
but that upgrade makes the rebirth, instead of a 5+, it's a 3+. You get rebirth.
Okay.
And does it boost your ward save? No, it doesn't boost your ward save, but it boosts your rebirth. and it fights like a
Flame Warden champion.
yes,
So rep skill 6.
5, 2 attacks, strength 4. Okay,
Interesting.
that's all the changes. So what that means basically, in short words, because we're running out of time, the Frost Phoenix can, I think it will be, you can use them like before. Flame Phoenix was the MSU avoidance shooty list. The Flame can still do that, but no ward save.
Alright.
The Frost Phoenix can also do that because they fly over a unit. That unit gets -1 armor save. You shoot that unit.
Right.
And it can still be used as a debuff in close combat, but only to the armor penetration of the enemy and the armor.
But it essentially got weaker in combat too.
A little bit weaker,
But
yes.
the Flame
But
Phoenix got
but more
stronger.
tankier because it gets a 4-up armor.
Yeah, but this Flame Phoenix got better in close combat.
Yes, because it has stomps and grinding attacks.
Yes.
It's a lot of change. Can you process it, David?
Barely.
What is your like like spontaneous reaction?
I think I like it.
You like it?
Yeah, I think so.
Obviously, there's a lot of reasoning behind this, but you need to go into the forums and read it there because we don't have the time. We're just dropping some knowledge.
Yeah, but in the end, did they go up or down in points?
They went up a little bit. Basically, I think the Frosty went down and the Flame up. They're around the same points.
Alright.
They went up a little bit. Yes, up. But yeah. And the champion upgrade cost like further more points
Alright, so
if you want the 3+ rebirth.
alright. I in my opinion, I think they kept the champion upgrade just
Yes, for the model. People have the model.
Yeah, people have the models.
They said so.
So that upgrade is meh.
But still,
Yeah,
better rebirth.
alright, it's pretty good. Anyhow, yeah, I like the change.
Do you think
So-
it's more powerful or less powerful?
I wouldn't say more powerful. I wouldn't say weaker.
Just a redesign.
Yeah, redesign a bit different, a bit. Yeah, want to do something different with it.
Shake things up.
Shake things up. So overall, since we're running out of time, as always, we do a conclusion. What do you think about the new edition of the Higborn?
All right. Before I answer that, I need to make a statement. Like, I think some people are gonna love this. Some people are gonna be like, "Oh man, my one specific thing that I wanted to do, I can't do." For me personally, like what I wanted from the update was just changes. Like I had my set chariot list. I wanted
Break.
I wanted basically that to be nerfed
Mm-hmm.
and other stuff to be better, just so I can try new things. Like
Yeah.
I wanted like some things that weren't being played. I wanted to get buffed. Like open up for new lists and
Yeah.
a new meta and stay at the same power
Yeah,
level.
'cause at least here in Sweden, the last tournaments we played, every single guy who ran High Elves had basically the same list.
Yeah.
Even though they're trying to pat themselves on the shoulders and saying, "No, I tried something different today," you're lying. They took out either the Chariot or the Flame Phoenix, but most of them kept both. Nearly every list.
Yeah, but so for me, I'm very happy with the update. Like I still think High Elves are really strong.
Definitely.
And I'm like pumped up to try a lot of try the banners, some new pass, I'm gonna try a lot of new things. So I'm glad. I will say like our power level around the same, maybe a little bit stronger, but our best like meta choices right now, you need to expect them to be weaker.
Sounds
So
reasonable.
the meta gonna shift. What about you? What's your impressions?
Yeah, I like it. Glad to see the Chariot gone and soon to be forgotten, left in a corner with other dark members. But yeah, I like the change. I think it'll be fun facing new arms.
All right. So thanks for watching. We need to go.
Bye bye.